Good day, everyone. I am Sean Pincer Dones,
I am Janisel Emmanuel.
I'm Carlo Wilberto P. Dagami.
and we are the Group 1 Powerhouse team from 12 Teams over Solo who conducted a study entitled Political Awareness, the Amenability and Political Participation Among the Youth Students of Angelo Livardo Loyola Senior High School. So, to give you the overview of the study, let me first introduce our research. So, first, the background of the study. According to Solhag 2018, political awareness is the process of exchanging political knowledge between an individual and various political sources disseminated in public spaces. However, there is no concrete consensus on how its idea should be identified nor quantified. Next, according to Commission on Elections, 56% of the voters are youth, or those who age from 18 to 41. Basically, these groups are expected to practice their political rights for the betterment of the country. And last, according as for the young students, they have the skills of being analytical, creative, critical thinkers, and having strong communication skills and leadership skills, which made them eligible to be considered in measuring the amenability of students to participate in politics. So the following are the reasons why the researchers conducted this study. So first is it aims to know the amenability of youth students in participating in politics. Second, to encourage the youths to exercise their political rights. And lastly, due to the rampant age discrimination, there is a need to know how being politically engaged are important nowadays. So for the SOP, this study aims to identify the amenability and political participation among the young students of ALSH. Specifically, this study sought to answer the following questions. Number one, the demographic profile of the respondents, including their grade level and voting status. Number two, the amenability of respondents to participate in political activities. Number three, the considerations in regard to be politically amenable. And number four, the young students' expression in political participation. So for the research gaps, these are found out by the researchers from the aforementioned studies. Number one, there was a lack of findings to address the political state of students. Number two, there are different results regarding how students are politically amenable in other areas. That said, the study attempted to address the lapses through gathering data from the young students of ALISH. So that's all from my parts, and let us now call on Mr. Dagami to introduce the methodology of the study.
My dear panelists, I am now here to confer with you the process on how data will be determined. Let us begin. This research used a quantitative approach with descriptive research methodology to discover and collect data that reflected the variables as qualities and characteristics. For our sampling technique, we utilize the stratified sampling method, wherein the total population of UM students in ALSH was diverged into two. The formula in getting the sample population is currently shown in the monitor to make sure that we have the correct amount of respondents so that our research would be viable. Next is the data gathering procedure. It began when the researchers formulated four-item survey questionnaires that recognize the statement of the problems in which utilize the Google Forms as an accessible and secure platform. It had been validated by the proficient politics and social science teacher from Hume's department and prompted that the survey was legibly certified for its distribution. Hence, it was accomplished with the assistance of class representatives via Messenger. With identifying relationships between data, statistical tools will explain how the data was manipulated. First, frequency, mean, and percentage. This will be used to measure the frequency and mean of their respondents' demographics, their considerations that affect their political amenability, their respondents' expressions of political participation. Second, the indication for the result of the gathered respondents' amenability to participate in politics will likewise be determined using the weighted mean. With that, to further discuss the results and discussions, I will bring to you Ms. Janice Manuel.
So upon gathering data from 80 humanities and social sciences students, these are the gathered results, which where we will discuss how these students are politically amenable. Also, what are their considerations in being politically interested? And lastly, how do they express their political freedom? So for the statement of the problem number one. So this is the respondents' demographics in terms of grade level and voting status. So as for the grade level, we have gathered response from 40 grade 11 students as well as 40 grade 12 students. We also gathered answers from 34 registered voters while 46 non-registered voters in the humanities strand. Also, the amenability of the respondents in participating in political activities. So in here, the researchers divided the question into how are they agreeable and also how are they willing to participate in politics. So based on grade level, grade 11 students answered that they are agree and somewhat willing to participate in politics, while grade 12 students answered that they are somewhat agree and willing to participate in politics. On the other hand, based on the voting status of the respondents, registered voters answered that they are agree and willing to participate in politics, while non-registered voters answered that they are somewhat agree and somewhat willing to participate in politics. While these are the results of the respondents' consideration in being politically amenable. So based on the grade level, as what we can see on the screen, personal decision, social media influence, as well as family influence are the top three topmost consideration of the students in terms of being politically amenable. On the other hand, based on the voting status of the respondents, also from both registered voters and non-registered voters, we have gathered answers that they are being driven by their personal decision, family influence, as well as the influence of the social media. And now, as we proceed to the statement of the problem number four, this is the respondents' expression of their political participation. So the mentioned political participation that you can see on the screen are according to the study of Kim and Howie in 2020. So this, according to their study, these are the political expression of the people or ages or people in our age on how they express themselves or how do they show their interest in politics. So among those expression are the traditional political participation, interpersonal talk, voting, social media engagement, and online information seeking. So we have gathered data from grade 11 and grade 12 students as well as based on their voting status, which is the um, registered voter and the non-registered voters. So with that, we had concluded that we are going to proceed to the conclusion of this study. With our study, we had concluded that one, grade 11 and grade 12 students of Angelo Lebardo Loyola Senior High School. So upon gathering data from them, there are 34 registered voters while 46 are non-registered voters. Also, we had found out that a high number of respondents are politically active and participative. Also, in terms of consideration in being politically amenable, the results show that young students are affected by their personal decision, social media, and family influence. And lastly, for the conclusion, the findings show that when it to expressing political participation, young students show their participation through online information seeking, voting, and social media engagement. Meanwhile, registered voters express themselves through voting, online information seeking, social media engagement, and interpersonal talk. And lastly, non-registered voters answered that they express their participation through online information seeking, traditional political participation, and social media engagement. And that sums up our study, which talks about the amenability and political participation of the young students in ULSH. So with that, we would like to acknowledge the following sources that we use in this presentation, as well as the template that we use in this PowerPoint presentation. And again, we are the Group 1 Powerhouse team from Grade 12 UMS Amarsolo. The names flashed on the screen are the proponents of this study. And we are glad to present to you our completed study about the political participation of the young students. So again, we are very glad and thank you for listening.